Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chris, Why Would You Eat That? Today it's actually a Chris, Why Would You Drink That? And today it's Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot. This does not make any sense to me whatsoever. I think of drinks and I don't think of hot. I think of drinks as being refreshing or something you might get to get rid of the hot flavor. But apparently PepsiCo, who is, I believe, associated with Frito-Lay, who makes Flamin' Hot Cheetos, has decided to mash their two brands together and has decided to make a Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. So maybe this might actually work for me because I don't like spicy food. So this is why it's sort of an episode of Chris, Why Would You Eat That? For two reasons. One, Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot is weird. Two, I don't really like spicy things. So chances are it might taste bad, but there's a good chance that it's going to burn my mouth and I'm not going to be happy anyway. So you get to watch me suffer a little bit. But yeah, so PepsiCo is, I believe, related to Frito-Lay. So there's like a connection between Flamin' Hot Cheetos and Mountain Dew. That's sort of where the connection I can make out of this. From what I understand, it's a blast of heat and citrus. So it actually kind of makes sense. Citrus tends to work with hot things. So like you talk a lot about like Mexican cooking and things like that. And even Thai cooking will have citrus and spice. So that kind of makes sense. Again, the only problem I have is that this is a drink, not sort of like a food. And you tend to go to drinks to cool yourself off. This is not going to cool me off at all. My hope is that maybe the drinking part will cool me off and will balance. But that's not probably going to happen because something called Flamin' Hot is probably just going to be spicy and burn my mouth. So this is also an episode of Chris is trying to avoid drinking this and stalling, but I will venture forward. So I'm going to start with a smell test. I'm kind of curious about this one. It just smells like Mountain Dew. I don't drink much Mountain Dew. Allison would tell you why I don't drink much Mountain Dew, but I tend to have a problem with caffeine and being over-energized, and Mountain Dew tends to have a lot of caffeine. This is an American Mountain Dew, which has even more caffeine than some other places in the world. But there's nothing to indicate that it's spicy by the smell, so that's good, I guess. So let's try Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. Oh, that's so weird. It's spicy and it creeps up and it gets a little spicier afterwards. So you kind of get that. It's a weird thing. So you drink it, and I don't know if this happens to everybody. When I drink sodas, the initial bubbles that sort of hit my tongue, it's almost a little bit of a stinging sensation, but it kind of goes away with the drink. So with this, you get that sort of initial sort of bubbly stinging sensation, that sort of tickling on your tongue of bubbles. But then all of a sudden, it's like the tickle sort of doesn't go away in the back of your throat and turns into a heat and then sort of comes up. And so I've still got a bit of heat in the back of my throat and it creeps up your tongue just a little bit. So it's almost like the little tickle from the bubbles goes away and then it's just instantly replaced by another little tickle of spicy. And other than that, it tastes like Mountain Dew, but it's not like horribly hot, but I get the feeling the more sips I take, the hotter my mouth is going to get, because I gave it a little rinse in my mouth, but it's the back of the throat that it really hit me. But I'll take a few more sips and see if it gets worse or better. It's definitely the back of the throat that it hits you. A little bit in the mouth. It kind of gets you. Oh yeah, it lingers. It gets worse. The second sip is spicier than the first. I'll try a few more sips and see how this goes. Every time I take a sip, I feel like it's leveling off, and then once the sort of liquid cools down, I'm left with like a burning sensation in my throat. It's weird. It's not as unpleasant as I thought it would be. It's actually okay while I'm drinking it. It's totally fine. But sort of like, I imagine like for a few minutes after you drink it, you're sort of like, why did I do that? Like, I don't feel thirst quenched at all. I only feel slightly more energized from the extreme amounts of caffeine, and my throat hurts a little. It doesn't taste like anything spicy. Like there's no sort of hot peppery. It's just regular Mountain Dew flavored with a bit of spice in the background. So it's weird. It's not as off. Like it's not awful by any stretch, but it's weird. Yeah, it's funny. I almost like. I mean, if you took the spice away, it would just be Mountain Dew. I almost wish it was spicier. Like, like if that sounds like I almost wish there was more to it. I almost wish there was some kind of like hot pepper flavor to it. Instead, it's just like I said, it's just Mountain Dew with hot. That's it. I feel like I'm at sort of a threshold. I'm not like burning up inside, but it maybe gets a little spicier per sip. Like the back, it's all in the back of my throat. Like that is where it hits me. I'm gonna. It's definitely spicy. It's weird. It's like I wouldn't recommend this to anybody to drink, but I'd recommend this to anybody to try just because it's so weird. Excuse me. Oh. Ooh, a spicy belch. That's all in the throat. This is just peculiar. Like I said, I don't know. Don't go buying a case, but maybe pick up a bottle to try and make sure you have a secondary drink. And I'll probably finish this at some point, but it's not on my favorite thing. I'm not going to enjoy this every single night and search out more cases of this stuff. So thanks for watching another episode of Chris, Why Would You Eat That? Where I drank Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot. My mouth is a little sore. Back of my throat is more sore than my mouth. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at CandyCritic, or go to candycritic.org and find links to all of my other social media, including Tumblr and Facebook. If you also go to Candy Critic, you can find links to pick up these two books. Two books I just finished up. One is Snack Facts. This is the microcomic that I did before. You can pick up, this is the full-size edition. It's kind of a fun thing. It's a collection of all the issues of Snack Facts put together in one little volume. It's they're pretty much printed at the size that I drew them, so that's kind of cool. The other thing you can pick up is Treats and Beasts, which is an alphabet book featuring beasts and the treats they love. So all kinds of cool drawings and with candy and stuff like that. This is another book that I finished up. You can pick both of these up at candycritic.org, and you'll find links there for both of these. Also, you can go to my Patreon, patreon.com/candycritic, and there you can get all kinds of bonus content, extra videos, weekend videos. You get preview this stuff in advance. So all of our patrons have already seen this video. If you're not a patron and you're watching this, it's already been available to them. And you can even get copies of Treats and Beasts and Snack Facts sent to you, depending on the tier that you're on. So be sure to join up there, and depending on the tier, maybe I'll even sign a copy or send you a sketch or something. So thanks for watching this episode of Chris, Why Would You Eat That? Where I had spicy Mountain Dew. So see you next time. Bye.